Hi everyone, this video is just to go over the lesson plan that I created in Module 6. To start with, the first thing I did when creating this lesson plan was to also look at what kind of assessments I have in my wheelhouse and how I can use them to test my student on areas that I need to know how fluent they are and how much they've mastered those set of skills. So to start with, I pre-tested the student before these lessons on the program called FastBridge. That's something my district uses. I use the A reading, auto reading, and then the CBM reading for my student. Auto reading really tests the phonics and phonemic awareness, and then the CBM reading really hits fluency. I noticed just through interacting with my student that something that he struggles with is verbalization and actually reading the words and putting more than one syllable together, and even sometimes then it's hard for him to pronounce the words. And so once he gets them, or once he's figured out those words, he actually is really, like, the process moves a lot quicker, but just getting him to practice actually saying them out loud, and then him being able to understand what that word is, what it means, and then essentially applying it at the end. So anyway, so that's what I did for pre-testing. So I started there. It told me basically what I thought I already knew from interacting with the student, but the student definitely needs help with vocabulary, phonics, phonemic awareness, and then fluency as well. FastBridge does this thing where it actually gives me some interventions for each student. And so the lesson that I created used some of those things that it taught me or told me that I should be doing with the student. I know that he's getting the phonics and phonemic awareness lessons in his class with our ESL teacher, and so I instead did vocabulary, which is another area that I identified that he needed help on, and then the flashcards that I did in the introduction lesson for him to practice the vocabulary is actually an intervention that the program told me to use with him to help him get more of that repetition so he can learn those vocabulary words. The post test and how I'm doing that assessment is basically on the story of Nightjohn. If he can answer the comprehension questions at the end of the chapter, he should be able to. That will have shown me that he is actually able to read through the text fluently or at a more fluent level. And then also that he understood the vocabulary words that were the words that I had created that Quizlet on were very purposeful in what I saw him needing help on. So that's how I'm going to, or how I did pre-test him and how I will post-test him to see how well these lessons went over. And there are several other lessons that go along with this before he officially has to take the post-test, but for Module 6, it only asked me to do one lesson, and so that's what you're seeing here is kind of a snapshot that's hopefully hitting on some of those assessment areas that this student needs to focus on.